Here's Lawns going past Wockinger. This is a battle for position, of course, around the midfield, and they'll both go into the pits together. Will they both come out the pits at the same time? Wockinger pits a bit.
Yeah, and there goes Pingu out of the pits.
Yeah, there goes Pingu out the pits, and kind of Musty goes through past these two. And there comes Lex, so this will surely be a great battle. Lex has gone wide, and now Matic will go around Lex, and Wockinger is going to challenge at Lex. These four in the midfield having a great battle since the start of the race, and Matic gets past Lands after Lands runs wide. And there's John 5 also in the background, and now Matic makes a mistake, and perhaps Lands will have another go. Oh, and a big crash there. Matic crashes into the rock and has to let Lands pass, and so Matic is the main loser, but Lands also losing out there.
That wasn't good. I hope the cars are okay. I mean,
yeah, it's really bad for your confidence.
After such an accident.
Really bad for your confidence. We saw there Lance battling with Lex. He got past him there in the final turns, but Lex got past him in the final chicane. Really good battle between these four in the midfield. Not at least the battle up front, which is absolutely fantastic too. That is Lex and Lance and Wockinger and Matic. Lex and Wockinger have very similar.
So this is positions from
about 9
through to
12.
Oh.
12. As we see, Eddie set a fastest lap. Eddie has set a fastest lap on lap 23. But then he goes wide in turn 2. Perhaps he's so shocked that he actually has some pace. Running really a dismal 5th place, considering what he needs. Eddie going after the championship, and looks like this could become a 2-horse race for this championship between Pablinho and Dede if Eddie doesn't do something fast. Here is Dede in the pits. This is absolutely crucial. This is completely crucial that Dede gets out. Mike Knight gets past. Will he get out in front of Etmil, and will he get out in front of Eddie? Yeah, way in front of Eddie, but Etmil is right close. Will Etmil charge to the outside in turn 3? No, he won't.
Oh dear.
Well,
that was close.
Is right close. They're going to continue their battle from earlier in the race when we saw them pass and repass each other about 3 or 4 times. Following each other closely. Mirroring each other's lines, and Etmil seems to have the speed at the moment.
Yeah, but Dede is parking nicely.
Yeah, and
all the inside lines wherever Etmil is trying to go, Dede is in front of him.
Yeah, and there's Popovic running off the road there. There's Mike Knight running second. Of course, he has to set some fast laps now. He wants to come out the pits in front of Etmil and Dede. He has to set some really fast laps if he wants to come up in front of them. Look at them, they're just in the background. I think it's more about coming out in front of Eddie, really, in that battle for the 4th position, perhaps. Unless, of course, Etmil or Dede makes a mistake.
Yeah.
So, Mike really pushing on lap 26 out of 39. Still quite a way to go in this Grand Prix. It's been fantastic so far. I'm sure it's not going to let up before the end. If you thought Argentina was boring, well, this has answered all your prayers. As Mike Knight comes in the pit, Dede goes past, Etmil goes past. But Etmil has to make another pit stop, and so does Dede, remember that. But Dede does have fresher tyres and lower fuel. And Eddie goes past, that's crucial. Mike Knight comes out in 5th, Eddie is in 4th position. So here we are on board with our 2nd place man, Dede. Etmil trying to keep up, but can't quite, just losing a little bit of ground. So we've got Pablinho running 1st, Dede 2nd, Etmil 3rd, Eddie in 4th, and Mike Knight, who just came out of the pits, in 5th position. That's your top 5 after 27 laps, up to 39. Looks like they both made a mistake there, both Dede and Etmil, but Etmil certainly been with him.
And the gap between Etmil and Mike Knight is just over 8 seconds right now. This is just one second short of a pit stop.
Yeah, that's very true. But remember, Dede also has to make another pit stop. Dede, of course, though, has newer tyres and should really be pulling away from that. Here's an incident in the pits between Kine and Musti. Oh, Kine and Musti went into the end of the pit lane. He actually just slightly tapped the tyres at the end of the pit lane, really cutting it short. And Lex comes into the pits, and ooh, that's not the first time we've seen Lex hit someone at the end of the pit lane.
Yeah, but Kine decided to go.
Yeah, kind of decided it was time to go. Didn't want to waste time. Hopefully he hasn't underfueled his car now. If he runs out of fuel because of that, that would be a terrible disappointment. Here's the battle back down in the middle of the pack between Lons and Wockinger. Lons looks like he made a little mistake there into the final complex and made a bigger mistake, and there goes Wockinger past. Here is Etmil. So, well, Etmil has to build a gap over Mike Nike. Dede is trying to build a gap over Eddie. Really, that's really where the race is between these two, because Dede does have much better tyres.
Yes. Cutting sand like that won't be good.
That's not good for your tyres. No, not at all.
Yeah, the gap 6 seconds right now. This is really bad for him.
Yeah, but what's the gap between Dede and Eddie? Is that safe? Yeah, I don't think so. I think Dede has to pull a bit more of a gap over Eddie if he wants to come out in front of him from the pit stops. Although, of course, if he doesn't come out in front, he does have the newer tyres.
Yes.
And Etmil making mistakes here. Perhaps the fatigue started to wear in after he was running second place earlier in the race. He was really doing fantastically. Perhaps the concentration level starting to fall. Mistakes starting to creep into the system, and now Etmil will pit. Well, so where will he come out? That's the question. I think he's quite safe from Pingu. Should be.
Yeah, probably.
Eddie goes past.
But he needed another 3 seconds to make a safe pit stop.
And Mike Knight goes past.
And he hasn't made it.
Well, and there's Pingu in the background, so he is safe from Pingu just about. But Mike Knight...
9 laps to catch Mike Knight then. If he can up his pace, I mean. If he can't, then it will be no podium for him.
And Pavlinho then into the pits, hitting Matic a bit on the way in. So Pavlinho, let's see if he has the gap. Actually, Dede actually will lead this race. Dede does just about get around the outside in turn 1 and 2, but of course Dede is just on the cusp of making the pit stop, so Pavlinho really has a whole pit stop advantage on Dede, and actually he's passed him. There he goes. So Dede led this race for about a few quarters, and then Pavlinho led again. And look at Dede just trying to hang on for dear life before his pit stop. It really is actually important he doesn't get too disturbed on this lap, because he really needs to make a gap over Eddie to try and get out in front of him from the pit stop. Dede looks like he'll stay out another lap then before making his final pit stop. We know he doesn't have enough fuel for the end. We know he's doing a 4-stop strategy. Here is a replay then of Eddie in the pits.
So what happened to him?
So let's see where he comes out. Behind Mike Nike and behind Etmil. So it's not Eddie that Dede's battling anymore. Dede actually looks like the 4-stop strategy has worked.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely incredible. It looks like he should easily get out in front of Mike Nike and Etmil really. Shouldn't really have much of a problem there. So it looks like unless Dede has a major problem with his pit stop.
No, seems yes, Abby for Dede.
Yeah, really. Although of course he wanted the victory, coming second with a 4-stop strategy really does prove something about these tyres and about how varied they make the races. We've seen people compete with a 1-stop strategy. Now we're seeing someone compete with a 4-stop strategy. Here Dede comes then. He's still setting reasonably fast lap times. He's falling off Pavlinho a bit, but of course Pavlinho is total unstop this race. And here comes Dede into the pits, and as I say, Pavlinho is total unstop. He sets a fastest lap, 40.020. Wonder if he'll go to the 39-second mark before the end of this race. So Dede comes out the pits in second position, and looks like he's got quite a big gap to the next positions. Wockinger is coming out the pits in the 9th position, and there's Lons. Lons is in 10th, Wockinger in 9th. They're going to have a battle surely over the closing laps of this race. They've been battling since the start. And Lons is going to go to the outside of the hairpin, and Lons makes it stick. Fantastic move by Lons, absolutely fantastic. That was brilliant. Wow. He just got the. Of course, Wockinger is on new tyres, so he doesn't quite know. And Pavlinho sets another fastest lap. Wockinger is on new tyres, so he doesn't quite know quite where to brake. And now Wockinger is back up to Lons on those new tyres. You know, just takes a while for it to almost get up to temperature sort of effect. And now Wockinger's right up onto Lons. So surely there'll be a good battle between these two. Not what Lons wanted to be happening, battling for the 9th position in the US Grand Prix, but it's what he's got to stick with, and he's got to get every point if he wants to remain in the top 3 in the championship standings. There is actually the leader coming up to lap Lons. That is going to be a harsh blow. Pavlinho laps Lons. Of course, only a few races ago, Lons was beating Pavlino in the championship standings, and Wockinger goes back past Lons, and Lons is going back to the inside of Wockinger. Wow. And Wockinger goes back past Lons again. Fantastic battle. Really,
Yeah, it goes back and forth between these two. Just a splendid move.
yeah, we've seen this happen all race. People have got past,